You may not know about the new brand called Lynk Co. It's quite popular now in Northern Europe. They make really nice cars, created by Geely, which is already an established brand in China. Lynk Co. are in Europe. They came in 2020 with the Zero 1 model, followed by very creatively the Zero 2 model and the Zero 3 model. So if you drive around Belgium, Amsterdam, Northern Europe, Holland, that sort of thing, you will see them all over. Really, really nice looking cars. And it's an interesting name, isn't it? Lynk Co. It just is a bit of an unusual name. But a nice name, I think, actually. As you would expect from Geely, it's a finesse product, even up close. I haven't done one of my quality control check videos, which I know some people really like and some people don't like, but I just kind of go up really close to the car in 4K, and I film around all the little bits like the brakes and the suspension and the welds and the sealing and things like that. It will be launching soon, probably in Gothenburg in the next month or two, maybe next month actually, in June. The first picture of the real car is on screen now for you. So that is actually a leaked picture. Someone saw it, took a picture of it, and we know which car it is because of some digital renders that we have from China. So these renders that came out of China were actually created by the drawings that were filed. I'm going to guess like patent files or wherever they register them when they create a car. Basically, that's what they are, and the picture of the car looks bang on, exactly like what we expected it to look like. You can expect the Lynk Co Zero, it's called, to come with an 800 volt architecture, or just 800 volt battery. I don't know why we say architecture these days. The dual motor, all-wheel drive, will have a combined power of 580 kilowatts and a real-world range, roughly, of 450 kilometers WLTP, although this is not really confirmed. This is just speculation, given that the close relationship with, let's say, Zeekr, so we can kind of compare the two. Everyone expects that it will rival the Xiaomi SU7 and the IM-L6, and the top spec version should cost somewhere around 38 to 42,000 euro, but should be 38,000 euro. There is a wave of cars now available from China, and I think everyone knows about this thing that's going on with the EU, and they have been trying to probe China, basically, to see what's going on in China and how they can conjure up a story against companies like BYD. Basically, they've got strong allegations against 3 big brands in China, and they're pointing the finger at them, and it's not very reasonable at all, but it was predictable. And I've said a few times, this stuff is going to happen in the next 6 months or so. For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm Ben Alexander. This is The Charge Show. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. Please feel free to put your comments down in the comment section below. And I also do have Patreon and YouTube memberships if anyone wants to chuck me $1 every month, or just a one-off payment of $1. That's really nice, just to help me keep on going making these videos. I've been reading some really crazy comments lately about how people really think that Chinese EVs are leaking huge amounts of information of things, what you say and your pictures and I don't know, all that sort of stuff, facial recognition stuff maybe, back to China, and then that's going to be a threat to us in the West. You could see that there's a bit of validity in that. There are microphones in the car, there are cameras in the car, ADAS systems, for example. It's not very likely they're going to ship that data over to China, but some people still think that is very valid, and that in the future, if everyone's driving a Chinese car, that's a concern. Lots of people in the response to this sort of comment in the comments. So, to rebut that, basically people are saying that it is rubbish, and if anything, in the USA have the NSA, and that's more of a threat because they know more about what people in the USA are doing, what you're saying, where you live. They can check your bank accounts, for example. All sorts of weird and interesting things in the comments. Do any of you have any thoughts on this stuff? Because it doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on, or if you're on the fence. I like to try and include the people that watch my videos and get you involved, because you're an integral part of what I do. I make videos and you talk about stuff, and then basically I read all the comments, and sometimes I make videos about those comments. So do you all think basically there's a concern to be had there? Do you think China will take all the data from these cars in the West and do something with it? And if you think they could, realistically, what do you think they could gain in the next 10 years from that data? Equally so, what do you think the USA could do, with the NSA, if they had things like the data from Tesla, for example?